Hello and welcome to the KT Life podcast, your window to life in the UAE. My name is Anamika Chatterjee and I'm the editor of Weekend magazine. Modern relationships can be very challenging, with women being as ambitious as men. Somewhere, love takes a backseat. Today, my guest is someone who actually brings two people together. She is the first public matchmaker in Dubai. Christiana Maxion, welcome to the KT Life podcast.
Oh, Namaka, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
This is the KT Life podcast by Khaleej Times.
First, what does being a public matchmaker entail? What is the job all about?
Oh, goodness. It's funny because I opened up my agency in October 2021 here in Dubai. I really felt like it was a time that Dubai needed it. It was after the pandemic. Dubai had changed its laws about living with a partner, having a child out of wedlock, introduced all new visas like the golden visa, work remote visas, retirement visas, a massive trend of people buying property rather than renting property. So It really showed to me that Dubai was becoming more of a permanent place rather than a transient city. Because for years people would say, oh, I'm going to go to Dubai 2 years, make money, and then go back home. So with all of these trends happening, I actually consulted a legal team out here because I was like, is this legal to have a matchmaking agency here? And oh gosh, we went through so much. Like our contracts are like cross our T's, dot our I's. I wanted to make sure that this was a service that would be accepted by the public. And hooray, yay, we've been open for some time now, and we have seen such great success in helping people come together to form meaningful relationships here in the UAE.
You are a team of 6 expert matchmakers around the world, right? Where are your other colleagues based?
So when I started the agency, it was just me here in Dubai. And we actually gained a lot of popularity, gained a lot of success quite quickly, which then proved to me that people were really searching for an alternative to the dating apps and really wanted a more curated, personalized experience. With that being said, my partners reached out to me, I think only like 8 months or 7 months into opening my agency. They are based in the US and in Canada. They reached out to me. So Patty Stanger's Millionaires Club, if you ever watched the show Millionaire Matchmaker in like the early 2000s. So her team reached out to me, as well as Sync Matchmaking. And amongst us, it's 6 expert matchmakers. I cover Middle East and UK. My partners cover various locations in US and Canada. But because we have the largest global matchmaking database and we work as a team, we can matchmake here, globally, anywhere, any like real like major city, because we have over 40,000 members in our database.
40,000?
Yes,
Wow.
40,000 global members. So it's amazing.
What does it take to qualify as an expert matchmaker? What qualifications does one need?
Well, it's interesting because I just think you have to have a knack for it. You either have it or you don't. And when I opened up my agency, it actually all stemmed from an Instagram account that I had started in 2020 during lockdown, or towards the tail end of like when we were locked down, where I was documenting my dating experience as a Western expat in Dubai post-lockdown. And people, I think, were very inspired by my empowered dating standpoint, dating with very high standards but low expectations. And through that experience, people would ask me questions. I did, obviously, lots of research, expertise in relationships. I became a dating coach. But in terms of opening up my matchmaking agency, I thought from my standpoint, what are people seeking in this part of the world? Because matchmaking here is definitely different than matchmaking in the US and Canada. Because of the different religions we have here, lots of different nationalities represented, a different sect of people who expect a very elite service. So I created my packages from my brain. I said, what do people want? And it became like a trial error kind of thing. But then when I entered my partnership, obviously became more established, learned what users wanted, right? What clients wanted. My partners reached out to me And because they have over 30 plus years of experience in the industry, oh my gosh, I went through so much training and mentoring with them, and our systems are absolutely flawless. And I just love that I'm a part of this team that is changing the world and creating so much love for people.
Wow.
Yeah.
But taking some strands from what you said, it's very difficult to bring two people together in this part of the world because there are so
Definitely.
many different communities, and people also come here for job or business opportunities. So work obviously plays a very important role in the lives of expats.
Definitely.
So what are the challenges of getting two people together? And that's not necessarily for marriage, right?
Yes, so it depends, right? Our clients come to us and everybody deems matchmaking success differently, right? What are their what are they looking for? We have lots of people that come to us, maybe they're post-divorce. They got married when they were 20 years old. They've never even dated before ever in their life. So they're just like, I want to date qualified people. And that's what we help them with. I know that you and I were speaking on like dating apps and kind of like the impact that technology has on dating. So a lot of our clients who are high profile or are in a certain, I guess, category with their wealth, like high net worth individuals, they don't want to be seen on a dating app. They don't want to go through all that what they call wasted time and effort, swiping, going on dates with unqualified partners. They want that kind of catered service where we plan, book, confirm dates, manage communication, manage feedback. We're interviewing partners before we even presenting them to them. So with that being said, dating out here, the challenges, especially when you think about most people are here for a job, or most people do come here on their own and maybe who are really career focused. I would say that challenges that come with that is maybe you are putting career first, which I don't think it's anything wrong with that. But then where is the time and dedication to your personal life if you have goals in your personal life when it comes to romantic relationships?
Yeah, speaking of technology,
Yeah.
you have an entire generation of youngsters who have been born into this dating app culture, and as a result of which the attention spans are really less. So somewhere the contention is the love, or what we understood to be love, that whole notion is changing. Is that true?
I would say, so I was asked to write an article about like the 10 years of Tinder, right? Because now it's been over a decade that Tinder was created and has been out. I would say that some dating apps really give the false perception that there is an endless pool of qualified bachelors and bachelorettes out there, when in actuality, how many of these profiles are real? How many of these profiles are actually compatible, qualified for you? I know that a lot of people talking about being on dating apps is like a needle in a haystack. There's a lot of time, money, effort required in order to find a suitable partner for themselves. And also because it's a constant swipe, 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 it becomes this
Problem of
game.
plenty.
A problem of plenty, and also it's gamifying the whole dating experience. And maybe people are thinking, well, if this doesn't work out, I could just swipe 10 more people and find somebody else. And I'm creating a solution to this, by the way.
What is the solution?
So not recently, since past 6 months, I have been developing an app. I'm calling it the anti-dating app because it's actually a social platform for high-earning professionals in expat-dominated cities who are looking to form meaningful relationships. This is based on compatibility, what has worked in our agency. But not only that, all of the matchmaking concierge services that we offer and have found our clients great success, digitizing that and making it more accessible to a larger group of people.
Now, the whole concept of arranged matches, let me not
Yes.
call it marriages, while it's a very popular concept in India where
Yes.
two people are brought together and they get married. Now, arranged matches is not something that is very popular, in the sense that people, especially clients, the kind of clients you have, somewhere you also want to meet people organically, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen. So do clients come with any mental blocks when they come to you?
You know what's interesting? The clients that seek our services, they don't see matchmaking as a negative, or like a last resort. What they see matchmaking as an only option, because maybe they don't have the time in their day, the effort that goes into all of the swiping or finding a partner, and they are maybe used to a lifestyle where they outsource everything. Right? Hey, I want to get fit. I'm going to hire a PT. Something wrong in my company, I hire a lawyer. Hey, I want someone to curate my dating life. I'm going to hire a matchmaker. Because with our large database, our systems, we expedite that entire process of finding a partner quicker. And because of all the matchmaking concierge that we do, we kind of take out like that effort and like that kind of guessing game where it becomes, these are qualified people. Let's find you that partner that you desire.
You spoke about how technology is changing the nature of relationships, you know. Earlier, one would call a partner in the middle of a work day to check if they've had food or not.
Yeah.
Now it's though your partner is just a WhatsApp away. And it does take some sort of personal touch away, some sort of human connection away from the relationship. So how is technology changing relationships, in your opinion?
Okay, so you can look at it positive and negative, right? I would say that with technology, it gives us so much accessibility, right? We do have access to so many different options, how to communicate with a partner. So that can be taken either negative or positive, right? Maybe you have too much access to your partner, and maybe there isn't like that longing or missing them a little bit. But I think that it also has created a world that is so flat in terms of you are able to date globally. You can find your partner might not be within 10-mile radius of you. Maybe your partner lives in another country. And because we have so much access to communication and communication tools, you can hop on a plane within 2 hours, right? To get to another destination. I think that actually creates more opportunities for love.
But isn't there an anxiety about long distance relationships also? It's obviously more challenging, right?
I think it depends on personalities, right? Because when I think about the clients that we deal with that maybe have a really full schedule, and maybe what they're seeking in a partner is somebody who also has a full schedule. And then maybe they cherish their time when they do see each other, maybe once a month, once a week, or however their schedule works. But in all honesty, any relationship can work as long as it works for those two people involved. It doesn't have to look like anything that has been quote unquote traditional or been done before. If it works for the two of you, great.
You know, many people who are in my age group, which is 30s, they are saying that they find it increasingly difficult to find like-minded people. So as you age in your 40s and 50s, does it become more difficult to find like-minded companions?
I don't think so. I think that love has no age, has no barrier in that sense. I would think, though, that this is a little negative, but more people are getting divorced. So in the sense of like maybe you would think that your pool is smaller as you do age. But in actuality, some people are starting second marriages, third marriages as they go on later in life.
And divorce is not as much of a taboo as it once was.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It used to be seen as, oh my gosh, a failed relationship. When in actuality, maybe it's empowering. Hey, you know what? I wasn't getting what I needed in this relationship. I don't feel like I'm elevating myself nor my partner. And it's a decision. Hey, I want something better. So totally. It used to be seen as such a taboo, but I think it's definitely has a different perspective now.
So most of your clients, what age group are they?
Oh gosh, it ranges. I think the youngest client I have ever worked with, 33 years old.
33.
33. And the oldest client, 64.
Wow.
So it really ranges.
Any interesting anecdote from your interactions with these clients and how they found love?
Everything is very confidential.
No, you don't have to take names. Just
No, I'll give a very happy love story. So even before I joined with my partners, I have this amazing client who had come to me. And he said, it's been difficult for me to find love because I am on the spectrum and autism. And it was interesting because I used to work in education, and this person is very, very successful in the work that they do. I obviously didn't know that he was on the spectrum, but obviously it is a spectrum for a reason. And he really thought that he could never find love. He was like so down on it and really searching for a family and searching for a partner to start a family with. And he's getting engaged. And I'm so excited because the person that he's with is so lovely and they just really complement one another. And that's probably like one of my favorite success stories that I have.
That's beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. And increasingly, we read these stories in New York Times, Atlantic about 7-year age, 12-year age, that after 7 years,
One
you
month
get bored. You get bored of your partner, or after 12 years, it is like, okay, it's more of the same.
Yeah.
So how can couples in a marriage also keep it interesting for themselves?
I think that it's so easy to maybe get caught up in like the mundane of your everyday, right? And kind of maybe lose track of why you love this other person and what made you fall in love with them in the beginning, especially with factors of work, family. You're just going kind of like through the motions. I always advise like start dating them again. And it's funny because I was on a different podcast, and when I said start dating again, they're like, what? Other people? I was like, no. Date each other again and kind of go back and try to rediscover either what made you fall in love with this person or what are the new things that made you fall in love with this person. And I know that you and I spoke about this earlier. I was listening to something that Jay Shetty was speaking about in terms of intimacy and the lack of intimacy that a lot of couples have. And talking about how a lot of couples like watch Netflix together and they consider that quality time. But is that quality time? Where is that intellectual connection, that emotional connection that you have with that partner? So really trying to make those connections with your partner more frequently and really coming to that space of love again. Like, how do we get there? And
I also believe that a lot of these situations come up because both partners, when they fell in love, they were on the same plane. But they, as individuals also, they are growing differently, right?
Definitely.
So one person has grown and matured differently, has different needs after 7 years or 12 years. And the other partner's needs probably more or less have remained the same. So is there how do you handle situations like those?
Okay, so I love this concept of a relationship contract. Now, a relationship contract is basically you and your partner sit down and you talk about your needs, right? What you need from a partner. How do you feel valued? How do you feel worthy? And also your other partner, right? It's a safe space for you both to come together and talk about what you need, but also what you love and appreciate about one another. I think that appreciation really gets lost in long-term relationships or any kind of relationship, right? So to come back to that. But also, so making this contract about, okay, so let's say you express, and I'm just going to make something up silly, you know what, I need you to take out the trash more. Like maybe your love language is acts of service, right? Something like that. And writing them down and saying, okay, let's revisit this contract on whatever timeline you want. 3 months, 6 months, a year, I would say shorter than a year, come back to this contract and say, okay, how did we do? Did we then reach these goals for one another? What is still needed? How do we feel appreciated? And sign that contract again? Or cancel the contract.
Sorry.
Move on. No, I'm kidding. But having that relationship contract, because that open communication with your partner is so needed, because we're not mind readers. Men and women, human, are not mind readers. So you need to express that, because you might think one thing or say that or think, okay, I need this. But if you never express that to your partner, how are they able to fulfill that or meet that requirement?
And in the aftermath of having children,
Yes.
when one parent is completely devoted to raising a child, can it also be a time when couples tend to grow apart?
This is where I think that the communication comes into play and appreciation, because I think that being a parent is probably the most important job on the planet. And how do you show appreciation for that? How do you make time for one another? And how do you make time for yourself? Because if you're not making time for yourself or feeling 10 out of 10, then it's also hard to be a good partner and to be a good parent. So really evaluating that and what systems you can put in place to make sure that you're feeling 10 out of 10, your partnership is feeling 10 out of 10, and you being a parent as well.
Now, you obviously have dealt with many UAE couples.
Yes.
What are and every couple is different, every couple's
Yes.
story is different, but what is that one common problem that you notice a cause of concern among most couples in the UAE?
What's interesting is, like you said, each couple is different. I think that some couples, what they speak a lot about is being in a place like Dubai where there's a lot of beautiful people. I call it a buffet of beautiful people here. And maybe some insecurities creep in about that. And I would just say that being secure in the relationship that you have with your partner, you need to have lots of communication, and you need to be so open about how you show love and how you want to receive love from a partner. Because if you don't have that knowledge from the other person, then it's hard to achieve that in a relationship. So being really open with your partner and having those sit-down one-on-one conversations in order to make sure that both parties are happy.
So love for a lot of people means no commitment also. That's also a modern definition of love. So they choose to be unpartnered in conventional sense, but have relationships that don't require them to commit and go all out. Does it really work?
Like I mentioned before, I think that any relationship could work for any two people if they have really open communication and maybe rules in place for that. I would say, though, that most of the clients that come to us, they are searching for that long-term commitment with a partner. So we don't necessarily work with many clients that are searching for that type of relationship. And that's why a lot of the members who join our database, they know that the people who are with us or the clients that we have are not only seriously vetted, but they have serious intention about a long-term commitment in the traditional sense.
Any last words for someone looking for love?
Oh gosh, well, if you are looking for love, you're still single in the city, please, 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 we have two options. You can sign up as a free database member on our website, christianamaxion.com. And there is no guarantee for dates, but then you are on our database as an opportunity to date one of our premium paying clients. And if you are interested in going down that route of having a more curated, personalized experience, please apply to be a client. You can see how we work on our website. And yeah, see you soon.
Because there's no way you are going to find it organically. Is that what you're saying?
Never. Don't go to the grocery store. Don't swipe on an app. No, I'm kidding. No, of course. But I think that when you put out the intention to the universe that maybe you're serious about finding a partner, do every avenue that you can, because it's telling the universe, hey, I'm ready for a partner. And maybe that inspired action will help open up so many more doors for you.
Thank you so much, Christiana.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
So as Christiana said, it's all about the intention. To all the listeners who tuned into this episode of KT Life Podcast, request you to share your thoughts on the episode in the comment section of all our social media channels. Till next week, this is Anamika Chatterjee signing off.